What are you laughing about? I think nothing wrong with it. Yum. I picked the chewiest candy. You got through your candy so quick.
I really don't understand what happened to all the Sour Patch Kids and stuff.
We ate them first.
We have sour Skittles upstairs. Why aren't they in here?
I forgot about that. We gotta do our top 50 candy.
Do we have 50 candy to rank?
Oh, I've eaten more than 50 candy. Easy. And welcome back to Foster the Meeple, a channel all about
board games and ridiculous hats.
Absolutely, and candy for that matter.
I can't keep up with the hat thing, people.
Why? We have so many.
No, I only have so many hats.
Hello. I love the Minions. That's my hat, by the way. We are back again with another installment of our top 50 games of all time. And today's list, we're right in the middle, folks, okay? We got 30 to 21. These are the games that, for me anyway, it's like they could start to go either way. You just don't know, right? But wait until we get in the top 20, and then wait until we get in the top 10. It's gonna be wild. Jeffrey, I went first last time. Perhaps you go first this time. My sweater's covered in dog and cat hair.
My number 30 favorite game of all time is Mansions of Madness 2nd Edition.
Okay, that was your number 10 last year.
Yeah, makes sense. I don't think we played it
we did not play
at all last year. We've played this game a ton. I think we need to get some of the expansion stuff. Keep it fresh.
Keep it fresh. Yep.
Mansions of Madness is one that I think will always kind of fall somewhere in this list. Maybe not, I don't know. But we really enjoy Mansions of Madness. It's a scenario-based app-driven narrative where you're exploring and trying to fight bad guys and uncover secrets in order to complete your objectives.
It's Lovecraftian.
Lovecraftian.
What do you need to know?
Yeah, lots of monsters pop up on the board and you have to fight them, uncovering clues, investigating, that sort of thing. Really, really, really enjoy it. It's just one that's kind of continuing to slip, I think, a little bit down the list. We've played Twilight of Sanctum?
Sanctum of Twilight. Take them.
Potato.
Put your name down, flip it, and reverse it. Okay, Jeff? Because that was the opposite of what you needed to say. My number 30 is Cascadia. This game is a game that I love, obviously. It's in my top 30. This is part of that, like, trio, right? It's like Calico, Cascadia, Verdant. Because they're all very puzzly. And everybody knows I love a good puzzle. And everybody also knows that I love animals. So in this, you're building out kind of like an ecosystem, like a habitat. And you've got different types of animals, and you are drafting tiles and animal buttons, but they're not buttons, but animals. And you're going to be putting them out into your habitat, and then each animal wants to be in a certain configuration in order to be happy. Now, all of these are different, but generally speaking, we've played mostly with like the base game, which like an eagle wants to be on its own, and maybe it's a hawk, I don't remember, but they want to be on their own because they're lone wolves, you know? But the fox...
They're lone hawks.
They're lone hawks. The fox wants to be surrounded by other things. They're sociable creatures, you know? So they all have different things.
Bears want to be in pairs, because bears like pears.
Bears want to be in pairs. Bear pair.
Actually, is it pairs?
Yes.
Yes, it is.
Bear pair, because it rhymes. It is so fun. I love this game. I've yet to play it solo, but it is one that I am eager to try solo. And I don't know, it's such like a good welcoming game. And it's pretty, and it's fun, and it's quick. It doesn't overstay its welcome. I really like it.
It's beloved by many. It's not on my list, but a lot of people
beloved by many, not by Jeff.
My number 29 is a game we've only played once, and we only played it once this year. Well, I guess last year. That is Irish Gauge.
Oh, stunning.
You think?
I love that game.
I know you do. Irish Gauge is a train game where you're kind of placing out trains and making routes. I've mentioned before, I'm really starting to get into enjoying route building and pick up and deliver games. This is one where, and there's like a bidding mechanic where you're bidding on different train operators, companies, that sort of thing. Yeah. And there's like different little triggers that allow you to score more points and that sort of thing. It's a combo-y train-esque game that
I want to buy this.
We played in Ohio. I also want to buy this, and I fell in love with it. I think this will go up on the list the more I play it, but one that we both really enjoyed, and I was actually shocked how much Jamie enjoyed it.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. I was not expecting to. Kyle's like, hey, do you want to play this very beige game? And I was like, classic Kyle. No beige games. My number 29 was my number, what the heck was it? 13 last year. Ooh. Why is it? Why? I don't know why this is here. I feel like it should be higher, but maybe we didn't get to play it as much this year. Actually, did we play it at all this year? It's Camelot. Camelot.
We played it once.
We played it once?
I played it.
God.
Were you there?
I don't know. Was I? Yes, we played it in Kentucky.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, of course we did. Anyways, Camel Up is one of my favorite party-esque games. It's not like technically a party game, but it kind of is. You are bidding on camels. And here's the funny thing.
So are you willing to admit it's not a racing game?
I'm not going to admit anything, Jeff, because I live in my own world. Basically, you're bidding on camels, and those camels, what are they doing? They're racing. And here's the funny thing about these camels.
They're silly.
They're so silly, okay? They're running around, and if they land on the same spot, they camel up, okay? They climb on top of each other.
They do.
What a weird thing, okay? And then there's another camel. So I'm talking about second edition. There are two other camels that are going the other way, and they're trying to mess up the camels that are going this way because they're racing, but these camels are like tough luck, and they're going to pull them back the other way. So you're bidding on the camels, and throughout the race, you're bidding not only on who's going to win, but you're bidding on who's going to lose. It is a game that is only as good as the group you are playing it with. People need to yell, camel up, every time the pyramid poops out a dice, and you need to get up in your seat, and you need to be cheering. This is that game, okay? So go into it forcing your friends to have the most amount of fun. I love this game. I will always love this game. I do wonder whether or not Ready, Set, Bet could kind of outdo it, but I still think I might prefer Camelot.
I was just going to say, like, it does give me Ready, Set, Bet vibes.
Ready, Set, Bet gives me
just
Camelot
in terms of,
vibes.
like, the yelling and stuff that can happen. Like,
the theme is so much better.
You could think you're about to, like, some camel's about to cross the finish line, and then it hops on one of the black or the white camel.
Don't know.
And then it's gone.
No, it's just gone. It's so good.
It's a good game. My number 28 might be the smallest box game I have on this list, and that is Scout.
Oh.
Scout is
what number are we on?
28. Scout is a oink game where it's basically just cards, and you are trying to put out sets or runs in order to attract, I think the theme is to attract performers to your circus.
Yeah.
The theme is
heavy.
Is something that's pretty much like whatever in this. Ultimately, it's a really cool dynamic where you can only flip your cards up or down orientation. You have to decide before the game start or before the round starts, and it stays in that orientation. And you have to play increasingly larger single card sets or runs in order to win the trick, basically, and score victory points. Scout's one we've fallen in love with. We've introduced it to a bunch of people who also loved it. We've played it at numerous conventions, and it's always a good time. I definitely feel like Oink has a special place for me right now.
Yeah.
Like, there's some really good Oink games, and Scout is probably my favorite, but Town 66 is...
Lyman, I just feel like it's really low. Like, this game, think about how much fun this game is. Should it not be number one? Really? I'm just kidding. It's not my number one. Well, my number 28 is probably gonna set Jeff off a little bit, and I don't know why. I just developed a southern accent.
I was just gonna say, is it something to do with the game?
Nope, it's Res Arcana.
What is this, 28?
Yeah. It was my number 12 last year. I mean, obviously it deserves to be like in the top 50 for sure. We play this game all the time online. I feel like...
Which is silly.
It's silly. We don't play the game physically enough, and we should, because I think if we played it more, like Jeff and I love this game. I know it's going to be super, super high on his list. Top 10 for sure. I can almost guarantee that much. Res Arcana is an engine building game where you have a mage and you are building out an engine that's going to be triggering every round, and you're trying to generate enough resources in order to get a place of power, and it's a race to 10 points. That's basically the game in a nutshell. It is so fun. We have all the expansions for it. I love all of the expansions. It's our favorite kind of expansion where you can just add it in and it enhances the game and it doesn't change the game so much. Like I said, this section of the list, this is the section that's doing this. It's like, have you played me lately? No? Okay, well, I'll go up. Have you played me lately? Yeah? All right, well, I'll go down, you know?
Listen, I understand I like Res way more than you do, so that's fair.
I'm just not very good at it also.
You're not.
We always play with Billy and Michelle from second star to the left, and it's pretty much always just a game between Billy and Jeff. And Michelle and I are just doing whatever it is that we do in that game.
My number 27 is another new to us game this year. Another one that probably will continue to increase on this list the more we play it, because we've only played it once. That is Return to Dark Tower.
Oh, not on my list.
Return to Dark Tower. Return to Dark Tower is another scenario-based app-driven game where you have this big, beautiful tower in the middle of the table that spits out and lights up. It does all these cool things. It's over the top. It's
over the top.
It's a toy, but I love it. We got a chance to play this over in PEI at
The Smiths,
and I fell in love with it. I love a good app in a game. I know that that's super like hit or miss for a lot of people, but I love when you can kind of get immersed in the story. I love scenario-based games. What I think I love most about this is like it's not necessarily like a campaign. You can play it.
Scenarios,
you can play
kind
it
of like Mansions of Madness.
You can play it, put it away, and then you might not come back to it for a while, and that's okay. And that's what I loved most about it, because it gave me that campaign feel without the investment of having to play it over and over and over again.
My number 27 is one of my all-time favorite designers. You know him, you love him. His name rhymes with Bouvet, and it's Uwe. And that is New York Zoo. Yeah. And that is Agricola. Just kidding.
Is that the only Uwe game on your list? No. I doubt it.
Might be. New York Zoo is an excellent polyomino tile placement game where you are building out, as you might expect, a zoo in New York City.
In New York.
Yes. So there is... There is a board type thing in the middle, and around that board type thing, there are piles of polyomino tiles of different sizes. So it's going to start smaller and shapes. It's going to start smaller, and then it's going to get bigger, bigger. Okay, and you're going around, and then also around there. By the way, what you're moving is an elephant, and that's fun. So anyways, you're going around the spaces, and sometimes you're landing on animals, and you're like, give me that flamingo and that fox or wolf. We don't know what it is. And then you put those into your zoo.
Have we ever established if it's a fox or a wolf?
I don't know what it is.
I don't know if we've ever looked it up.
You tell us. I don't know. I think it's a fox. Might be a wolf. You get the animals, you get the pieces, and you're building out different pens to put animals in, and then guess what? Here's a Uwe classic. No, you don't have to feed them, thank God. But they do have to mate, okay? You're going to be mating them, and they are going to be having the bébés. I don't know that he's ever been to a biology class, but basically, if you have 5 penguins, those 5 penguins will make 1 penguin. So you're breeding them, and then you're filling out your zoo, and as soon as you fill out one of those polyomino tiles, well, guess what? You get to score it, and you get to put an attraction. Maybe a hot dog stand. Jeff went the hot dog route last time.
I had a lot of hot dog stands.
Didn't pay off for him. Anyways, this
game...
I
never win that game.
No. But this game is so much fun. Like, and you really like this game too.
I do really.
Yeah.
He's my favorite designer.
Yeah, it's Bouvet, you know? You could see us playing it on Jamie's Big Day. Jamie's Big Day. Jamie's Big Day.
My number 26 favorite game of all time is another Uwe game.
Is it Agricola?
It's not Agricola. It is Caverna.
I never even played that one.
Caverna is in the same vein as Agricola, but I think a little bit less punishing. So in Caverna, you are playing as dwarves, and you are building out your dwellings. So you live in a cave.
Eldervale.
And I do think you would like Caverna better than Agricola.
But you have to feed people?
You do have to feed people, but it's way less punishing. Like, you can use rubies to feed people. You can use... It's not difficult to feed your people.
Hurt their teeth.
Well, I don't think they would eat the rubies. They would use the rubies to buy food, basically.
Okay.
In Caverna, you're building out your dwellings, which is in this little cave network. You're also building out pastures and typical Uwe fare to have livestock, to produce goods in order to...
breed them?
Yep, same deal.
Just one baby?
Just one.
5 cows, 1 baby.
You can also, what's really cool in this game, you can convert your workers into warriors, and they can go off and do like expeditions, which give you extra bonuses and that sort of thing to put into your dwellings and put out onto your landscape.
Farm.
Your
land.
farm area. But yeah, Caverna is just a more developed, easier, I guess, less punishing version of Agricola that I really, really enjoy.
My number 26, here, listen. What do I love to do? What do I love to do? Jeff.
Argue with me?
No. Something else.
Eat candy?
Something else.
Pet dogs?
I love to go fast, okay? Here's another racing game for you. This game is called Cubitos from Sir John D. Clare himself, the man, the myth, the legend. It is my highest rated racing game. So basically, the reason for that is because it's silly, it's fun, it's nonsense, it's colorful, and the theme is weird, and I love it.
What is the theme?
It's not, so you live in like Cube Land, and all the Cubelandians are racing, but each Cubelandian has like a special ability.
Is that actually it?
I think so. This is a dice building game. It's not dice drafting. It's not like deck building, but you are racing through the game, and then you are going to be gaining points and coins and all of these things in order to buy more dice. It's a push your luck game to buy more dice in order to put in your hand so you can roll the dice. You're looking to get feet, you're looking to get coins, and you're looking to get other little symbols to trigger special abilities. And it is just straight up a pure race. It doesn't matter about points. You're just trying to be the first one to get to the end, which is something that I love about it. I love racing games where you are just racing. Like,
yeah, there's no bidding on anything. There's no nothing.
No.
It's just A to B.
Yeah. And I love push your luck games. Jeff is not great with luck, so I tend to win this game often, which also helps.
This game infuriates me because I remember the last time I played this, I was right at the end. I was right
like,
at the end.
Excuse me, meow.
And I like stalled out for some reason. My rolls were garbage and Jamie won. From so far behind too.
So good. Love it. Anyways, Cubitos is a ton of fun. It is a bit to set up, okay? I'm not going to lie. But there is an insane amount of variability within this game. Because
do you even need to use the boxes?
It's fun, Jeff, because it's thematic, you know? It's like the people, the fans in the stands.
Okay.
Anyways, it comes with so much variability because each cube type has like 7 or 8 different actions or abilities that they are able to do. And then there's multiple different courses that you can do. And anyways, I absolutely love Cubitos. I love. I will always play this game.
I also love Cubitos, and we haven't played that in a hot minute.
I know, we should play it.
Yeah. My number 25 favorite game of all time is one of the most unique games we played last year, and that is Brian Boru, High King of Ireland.
Oh, the High King of Ireland.
Brian Boru, or Brian Boru, however you want to say it, is a trick-taking area control game. Area majority, also.
Sure.
In Brian Boru, you are going to be playing tricks, and what's really neat is even if you lose the trick, you could purposely want to lose the trick because there's actions you can take off of your cards you're going to be playing. So in some instances, it's actually better to lose a trick because it'll let you do something on the board. And there's a bunch of different tracks you can go up on. There's like a marriage track, which will give you bonuses. Viking track, which will let you put Vikings out on the board and give you certain bonuses. There's a monastery track. There's a bunch of things going on. However, in most instances, if you win the trick, you're going to take possession or control of an area on the map, a town. Ultimately, the end game scoring, you're going to score points for having area majorities or controlling all of these different territories, and all of these different triggers are going to go into effect. I absolutely loved it. It was one of our best gaming experiences of last year, given we got to play it at Dice ROS, some of our really, really awesome content creator friends.
Yeah.
Brian Boru is one that probably will keep going up on this list the more I play it. We just haven't had a chance to play it again. We were supposed to play it a couple weeks ago, and we didn't. But I really love it.
And you can't play it at 2. It's a 3-player minimum. And as all of you know, we are just 2 people. 1, 2. I prefer saying Brian Boru. I don't like Brian Boru. Boru. But it won't bore you.
No.
Even though it might look like it. My number 25, this was my number 33 last year, so it's gone up. And that is Calico. I feel like we've played Calico a lot this year, and I have finally played it solo, and it is a nice little solo puzzle, I got to say. I love Calico. I love cats, okay? I don't care about quilts, but I do love cats.
Buttons.
You know what? Jeff loves buttons. I'll tell you that much. Jeff's the button king in this game. This is an extremely brain-burny, like puzzly game where you are building out a quilt to please the cats. You're going to have, I think it's 3 different cats, and each of them are going to have a preference for certain patterns, and those patterns need to be laid out in a certain way depending on the cat, okay? And then you're just building out the quilt, trying to appease the cats, but there's also other objectives on the quilt. So you might be trying to get all patches different around this certain thing, or 2 of each, or whatever it might be. I love this game. I love cats. I will play this literally whenever anybody wants to, and now that I've played it solo once, it's probably going to be a solo game that I reach for as well.
I also love Calico.
Not enough.
Not enough, but I do love Calico. Jamie's gonna be mad about this next one. My number 24th favorite game of all time is a game we've played a ton, and we both love it a lot. And it might be a little bit criminally low. That is Unmatched from Restoration Games.
What number are we on?
24. Unmatched.
24. Not 04.
Unmatched is a head-to-head card dueling.
It's a battle game, all right? You're duking it out.
Skirmish game where there are a ton of different characters that you can play. You can mix and match if you want. Ultimately, you have a arena that you're going to be manipulating your people around, playing cards, and those cards allow you to move. You can scheme, which is like an ability you can do, or you can attack. It's just a really, really awesome franchise, I think, at this point, where there's really cool characters. They all play completely differently. And again, it's super fun to mix and match. And if you're interested, we did do a T-Rex versus Raptors.
This is why it's so low on Jeff's list.
Video that you can go check out.
I've eaten him with that T-Rex so many times.
Jamie does beat me a fair amount in this game.
I'm very good
but she always picks the best characters. The only time I think I've won, I beat you with Bruce Lee.
Yes, he's very quick.
And I beat you with your Bigfoot. I was Robin Hood.
Yeah.
That was a close one, though.
Okay, my number 24 is new to the list this year, and Awkward Guess, I think Jeff talked about it in your 50 to 41. Perhaps it's not on your list. It's not on your list?
Nope.
Is it coming up on your list?
Nope. 69.
Oh my
Nice.
Awkward Guess. Anyway, so apparently we don't have a crossover. I was thinking of something else, but Awkward Guess is like the new and improved Clue. There is a millionaire, and he has been murdered in his own home. And so you are trying to figure out who the heck, right? Who did it? What did they do it with? Why? Did they have an accomplice? Better find out. Everybody's going to have their own little sheet, and you each have cards that have different clues on them. So on your turn, you are saying, I want to know something about the kitchen and the something twins. I don't remember their name. So everybody around the table can be like, I've got information on those people. I've got 3 points worth of information. So you can decide whether or not you want to trade information with them based on the amount of points you have in your hand, which is all written on the cards.
Because you have to give them back information.
Exactly, yes. So you don't have to trade with everyone who's offering up information. And what's fun about this game, I could be like, I've already traded. I know Jeff gave me this card, so I'm going to trade back with him, and you can give him back information he already has, which is super fun. This game is amazing. Like, if you like murder mystery, if you like Clue, if you just want to have a good time and whatever, it's great. I absolutely love this Awkward Guest.
Don't trade with Jamie or Max. They're friggin' sleazeballs.
You can trade with me. I won't betray you.
My number 23 favorite game of all time is Star Wars Villainous.
First of all,
I'm waiting for you to get.
I put together all the Villainouses together, except for Marvel, because that one just doesn't deserve anything.
Because I don't like them the same amounts.
I know that Villainous isn't on your list, and it makes me so mad.
It's not. Star Wars is.
Yeah, but that's not as good.
That's your opinion.
In my opinion,
this is my list.
Well, you have your list. You eat it.
Star Wars Villainous is the Star Wars version of Villainous. Duh. Which you've seen on this channel a ton. The Star Wars version of Villainous ups the complexity, in my opinion. It adds, what is it again?
If you love it so much, you should know. It's ships.
No. The
ambition.
Ambition.
Get off my friggin' fuzzy peaches. What is happening?
Jamie, let me get them.
No.
Jamie, I can't get any.
I'm not doing anything.
Move your freaking fingers.
You took all of them.
It adds ambition is another way to pay for things, and is ultimately the way you're going to reach your objective. I still really, really do love Disney villainous. It's not on this list, but Star Wars just, I think, has upped it enough for me that it's my preferred version of the villainous franchise.
Okay, my number 23 is going to be much, much, much higher on Jeff's list, maybe top 10. And that is Cuba Libre. How are you feeling about that?
I'm just happy it's on your list, to be honest.
Listen, he can't right now. He wants to rage, but he can't because he just made the comment that he doesn't care.
The fact that Cuba Libre is even on your list is amazing to me. I'll take it.
Libre is a coin game which stands for counterinsurgents. I still don't really know what that means, but here's what I do know. Cuba Libre is super fun. So essentially in Cuba Libre, you have 4 asymmetrical factions, and you are all part of Cuba. Usually I play the Directorio yellow because they're the only ones that I fully understand.
They're the student.
They're like the cats in Root, basically. So what their goal is to like spread out. Yeah, because they need to be everywhere. You know what I mean? You got to spread out. You got to be places. Everyone has different goals, and there's an event deck every round. The event is going to come up. 2 people take a turn each round, and then they'll get moved, and then 2 other people are possibly the same, however it ends up playing out. And then there's this thing called propaganda that comes up, and a bunch of stuff happens, and it's just wild. If you're looking to get into coin games, obviously this is, I believe, the best place to start.
I think it's the most recommended.
It's the most recommended. We have recently embarked on a new coin game, so will it replace Cuba? I don't know. The board's like 3 times the size.
That game's a distant plane, by the way, for people that are going to be wondering.
Cuba Libre is probably the biggest surprise game for me of my life that I never thought I would like. And honestly, this is a game that we play asynchronously with friends through video, and I don't know that I would love this game as much as I do if we didn't have the experience of playing it with those friends.
That's fair.
Yeah. We've never played a live game before. We only ever played async.
My goal is to play a live game of this soon. My number 22 favorite game of all time is a complete shock to me.
Is it Loose Caboose?
No. And that is The Godfather.
They give you awful caboose.
The Godfather is a game we got to play again for the first time this year in PEI with our friends, the Smiths. It is a Godfather themed. You are trying to control different parts of the city. Your little crime families trying to control different parts of the city. And you're moving around, collecting loot, completing objectives by killing mobsters and doing all the Godfather-esque things that you can do in order to score victory
area
points.
Control, right? Because you want to control the city. You want to be the mob. And there's a river with dead people in it.
The Hudson. I really, really liked Godfather. I loved it enough that I found a copy and bought it. I was very shocked it ended up this high up on my list, if I'm being completely honest.
It's a game of betrayal, and it's a game where you get to put stuff in a briefcase. Put stuff in a briefcase, be like, surprise. My number 22 is Imperial Settlers Empires of the North.
This doesn't shock me.
Love this game. This, I think, was number 38.
Okay.
So this has gone up, and there's a few reasons for that. So number 1, Imperial Settlers Empires of the North is essentially an engine building game. Everybody plays as a different faction.
Except Jamie.
And they're all asymmetrical factions. And so the way that you kind of go about using your cards is different. So it's also an action selection game, right? So you're choosing an action to do, you're playing out your cards, and you're triggering the actions on your cards as you build out your engine. There's also a mechanic where you get to go sailing and you get to gain more cards. This game is adorable. And the reason why it has kind of jumped up the list a little bit for me this year is we've added new factions to our docket. So we got to play with the Japanese Islands factions, which were super fun. We've played it quite a few times this year. I also got to introduce it to Billy and Michelle when I visited them in December. We also got to play it with Sam and Kate from Lord of the Board. It's puzzly, it cascades, it builds up. When you're the penguin girl, you rule the world.
Who's the only faction Jamie will play with? That's
She's
why.
amazing.
That's why I said.
Because I always win.
My number 21 favorite game of all time is a card game that we've fallen in love with this year. Probably one of our most played games of this year, and that is Fantasy Realms.
You were number 26 last year.
Fantasy Realms is a card-driven hand optimization where you're trying to build out the best set of 7 cards.
Mm-hmm.
And all of those cards are going to trigger off of each other. They all have a different suit and have a different ability. And you can like get different cards that are going to give you more points if they're paired up or if they're not paired up, that sort of thing. I really, really enjoy Fantasy Realms at 2-player. Fantasy Realms is a game that kind of replaced Silver Bullet for us.
Yep.
Where it was just around, we would play it, we'd set it up. It doesn't take long. The thing that's probably the most tough is the scoring.
Yep.
But there's
an
an app that you can get to do the scoring for you, which is a huge plus.
Jeff, are you ready to make you very happy? Wait, are you ready for me? Did I leave a word out of that? Are you ready to make you very happy?
That is a statement you would make. Are you ready for you to make yourself very happy?
Listen, people, you are in charge of your own happiness. I do believe that. Are you ready for me, though, to enhance your happiness?
Yep.
My number 21 game of all time is Brass Birmingham.
Shut up. Really?
Yeah.
This wasn't on your list before.
No, I hated this game. I used to hate
21.
this game.
Wow.
Yeah.
Look at us making strides.
Brass Birmingham is a game that I have not liked because the first time that we played it, we were relatively new to the hobby and I was overwhelmed and I'm like, this game, boring, hate it, very dark, don't like. And so we put it on our Play Your Shelves challenge, or we put it on some kind of a challenge, I don't remember. And so we played it this year and I had to eat crow and put my foot in my mouth because Martin Wallace is now my new best friend because Brass Birmingham is amazing. Basically, what is the mechanic of this game? I don't know. You are putting stuff out. You're building roots.
It's root building.
It's root building. You're building out roots, and there is a canal era and there is a rail era in this game, and you are basically trying to like ship different resources to different places in order to
upgrade your industry.
Upgrade your industry. The theme is still a little lost on me. I know there's like beer barrels in it. It's fantastic. I would like to play it more. I'd like to play Brass Lancashire as well to see, because I've heard that plays better at 2 players.
Sorry, Leanne.
Leanne, it's Birmingham.
Birmingham.
I've been saying it wrong this whole time.
Yeah, it's Birmingham.
Birmingham. Yes.
Birmingham.
Appease.
Brass Birmingham.
The Brits, Birmingham. So, I love this game. I was not expecting to love this game as much as I do, and now I'm all in on Brass Birmingham. That's it. So those are our next 10 in our top 50 series, which means our next video is going to be 20 to 11, and then next week is the final 10, which is very, very exciting, you know. Anyways, that's all that we have for you today. Let us know down below if there's anything on this list that shocked you. Is there anything that you're like, I can't believe it?
Cuba.
I'd love to know. I think most people know that I love Cuba. Birmingham, exactly. And I'm just going to throw it out there as well. We made an announcement in our last video about a game-a-thon that we are holding, Foster the Game-a-Thon. All of the information is down below, but it's happening on March 4th, and you should definitely join us for that. If you're interested in buying board games like any of the many that we mentioned today, you should first start by checking your friendly local gaming store. And for us, that is
the Boardroom Game Cafe.
Yes, it is. If you like what you see,
please subscribe.
We hope to see you again soon, and now we say goodbye. Goodbye.
There it is. Would you include chocolate bars and stuff?
Yeah. I probably could do a top 20. What would be your favorite? Sour Patch Kids?
Candy, including chocolate bars, or not?
No.
Cherry blasters.
I think I like the sour grapes.
The purple ones? Those are good. The grapes I saw at the grocery store here were the greenest grapes I've ever seen.
I wish you got them.
They were crazy. I honestly, I looked and I thought they were fake.
What was it if you put lime juice on grapes? They taste like Sour Patch Kids. Fun fact. Better watch it.
It's incomparable. You're not getting any of these.
Grab it right out your hand. It's really hard for me to chew this stuff because I'm missing teeth. Because I broke them. Highest rated.
Doesn't surprise me. That took a while.
Yeah. Give me those fish. I'm mad at you.
They're empty.
You're empty.